asking.
All right, everyone, let's begin. I'm sure everyone will join in later. To our Maramas in Japan community, thank you for joining us tonight. We're trying to shake things up on our page. We're introducing a new form of life, and we thought we'd commemorate our first year by beginning with us, the hosts, the administrators of Maramas in Japan. Throughout the show, we will be dropping links to this Zoom session. So if you're free and you're keen to join, please hop on, be part of the discussion. Let's have a Talanoa session. Tonight, we were very privileged to have Dr. Bill Waqalevu, an esteemed member of our community who has helped us throughout the journey. And we're so grateful to have him come in, agree to step in as our moderator tonight. So with further ado, I'll let Mr. Bill Waqalevu have the stage. Vinaka.
Dr. Waqalevu, Mrs. Thomas. So tonight basically is Free Flow Talanoa. We will look at the journey that is the Maramas in Japan page has gone through in the 1 year. We're celebrating its 1 year anniversary today through this live session, and we will explore a little bit about the people behind the Maramas in Japan, the journey that it's come through, the challenges they may have faced, how this platform has evolved, and other matters involving life in Japan, and not only as we've seen in the previous live sessions, not only concerning the Maramas in Japan, but also Fijians that live in Japan. So without further ado, let's get to know the faces behind the Maramas in Japan page. So first, she started off the session, so it's probably most appropriate that Mrs. Thomas very briefly introduce herself, her name, where she's living in Japan, what does she do, and how long she's lived in Japan. And then following from that, we'll ask Mrs. Neva Luanga, and then Mrs. Anise, Miss Vamarasi, and then our behind the scenes, I've been told, staff of Maramas in Japan, Mrs. Matsumoto. Thank you very much, Ms. Thomas. Over to you, Naka.
Ayaksia, konbanwa. So I'm Olivia Thomas. I'm not going to spend too much time introducing myself. I have been here for the last 19 years and was very fortunate to have met other similar-minded women here on Facebook who will now introduce themselves. So thank you.
Nakawale, Ms. Thomas, Mrs. Navalwanga.
Yo, Mbulugnaka, Tina Navalwanga. I live in Kita, in the northern side of Japan, up north. I've lived here for 10 years now. Yes, and yeah, and I came to Japan as to support my husband. That was the reason I moved into Japan. Hi.
Wow, we've seen here 2 decades and a decade, very long members of the Fijian community. Next, we'll have Mrs. Anise, please. Please introduce yourself.
Naka, Bulavinaka. My name is Kinsimer Anise. I'm living here in Tokyo, in Hachioji. I've been here in Japan for 14 years now. I moved to Japan when I have one child to join my husband here, and now I have 2 sons with me.
So here we have 19 years, 10 years, 14 years, up north in Akita and Tokyo around the central region. Over to you, Miss Vamarasi.
Koyaksia and Bula everyone. I'm Sarah Vamarasi, and I'm living in Oita Prefecture. I've been in Japan for almost 5 years now, and yeah, really excited for tonight's session. Thank you.
Nakawale, down south in Oita, Kyushu. So you're a representation of almost the entirety of Japan, the island. Nakawale is from Oita. Next is Mrs. Matsumoto. You probably see familiar faces here if you're a regular of our live sessions. You usually don't see Mrs. Matsumoto. Maybe now you'll get a chance to see, to get to know a little bit more and the work she's done with the Maramas in Japan platform. Over to you, Mrs. Matsumoto.
Bolobinaka, everyone. My name is Anna. I live in Akita. My house is 300 meters away from Tina. So we've been here for only 2 years, 5 months now, just me and my 3 daughters. Yeah.
Yes, so I see like there's a little village community starting there in Akita, 300 meters away from, very close.
Yes.
Hello to everybody that's watching right now. If you haven't, if you just joined in, or we just finished our introductions of the members of the Maramas in Japan, I'll introduce myself. My name is Williame. I've lived in Japan 7 years, and I live in Kyoto with my wife, who's also been in Japan about 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. She's sitting right next to me, correcting me. So now that we all know each other, and then those that are watching, please, as we start our chat, please feel welcome to drop any questions that you may have in the comment section, and those that are members of the Maramas in Japan that are in charge of the technology there, they will have a read and then they'll let us know your question and we'll try to address them. So 1 year, we're celebrating 1 year of Maramas in Japan, and since then I think we've had a few live sessions. If someone may give me the number, it's about 18 live sessions, I think I heard at the beginning of this chat. That's a lot, and that's a sample of a number of Fijians that are spread out all over Japan. So we are lucky that this is one of a kind of platform that has allowed us into not only get to know people, but the lives of these people that lived in Japan from decades to a couple of months, couple of years, all in their different expertise. So the beginning, let's all start from the very beginning. The Maramas in Japan, how did this idea come about? So as I said, this is a Talanoa. Please, ladies, feel free to pitch in where you can, when you want. The idea of Maramas in Japan. Now, maybe some of the viewers that are watching, they are familiar with other pages like Maramas Alliance in UK, Maramas Talk, which is in France, Maramas in Business. So how did this idea come about of Maramas in Japan? I'll leave it to you ladies. Whoever is ready to answer the question, you can. We can just Talanoa. How did the idea of Maramas in Japan, MIJ, come about? Naka.
Thank you, Bill. Before we begin, I wanted to say thank you to Tevita for joining us online. And we were a bit concerned that not a lot of people would want to do this with us, but we're grateful for the support. Thank you, Mr. Takayawa.
No worries, no worries.
Welcome, welcome.
Everyone, Bulunaka, Dr. Bill Waqalevu. It's an honor.
Getting back to your question, Bill, I suppose I'll let the other women share the answer with this. It was an idea, obviously, as you mentioned, it came out when the similar movements had started happening in the UK and in France. I was asked to join as a guest at Maramas Talk in France. And it was from there that the women were trying to encourage that, to see the benefits of having something similar like that in Japan. So after a while, I figured I'll sound it out with the other ladies that I was fortunate enough to have met during our stay here, Kinsey Mary and Tina. And I'll let them explain the rest.
Okay, maybe you'd like to add there, Mrs. Nevolwanga or Mrs. Anise. Anything you want to add to that answer? Mrs. Thomas mentioned there very briefly some of the benefits, you know, that that she has seen with these types of platforms, with Fijians abroad and with the Maramas especially. What are some of these benefits that being a member of MIJ? Maybe Mrs. Anise would like to enlighten us some of the benefits of being a member of MIJ that you have seen in other groups similar to Maramas in Japan.
Yes, the time that Oli bring out this idea for us to form this, with the idea of getting the Maramas in Japan to have this free space for us to talk, for us to share what we experience. It's just what we think that will help each other with our daily living in here, especially out of Fiji here in Japan. Nothing similar back home. We have our own challenges. And as we've started off that, yeah, most of us, the three of us are all professional rugby wives. And we think that we will help, since we've seen that rugby is building up and many wives are coming in. And we've seen that we can contribute to the community, because most of the times we have questions that it's hard for us to go call embassy and keep asking, or things like that. You know, the very general questions like schools and stuff. So it was a good idea. I love the idea that she brought it up, that yes, it was just to help the ladies, especially the Maramas, because for me especially, it was a challenge to come here, bringing a baby and to build from there. So I would like to share my experience, so I think I can help someone else and they will enjoy staying here, and help their husband to, you know, to move along with rugby career for as long as they can.
That's a great answer, and I see that the founding members that have lived here 19, 14, and 10 is very long. And as Ms. Vamares mentioned earlier, she's only been here about 5 years. So basically, I would like to ask, what was your inspiration? These founding members had brought about this idea about Maramas in Japan, and you know, how it would benefit Maramas living in Japan in all capacities, in terms of being a rugby wife, a student, a worker, a housewife, or in all capacities. What was the inspiration for you, having just moved to Japan relatively at a much shorter time than the founding members? What was your inspiration to join MIJ? And also goes to Mrs. Matsumoto. So first I'll ask Ms. Vamarasi.
Okay, thank you, Bill, and hi, Sai. Thank you for joining our Zoom call. Yes, so I was a guest. The MIJ team approached me first of all as a guest, and you know, when they approached me, I already, I'd love to share, you know, my experiences. I didn't mention this in the introduction, but if anyone doesn't know, I'm an ALT, so I'm teaching English here in Japan, in Oita Prefecture, and yeah, I was really happy, you know, to be a guest. And then later on, they asked me if I wanted to join the admin team, and and you know, I was surprised. First of all, thank you for the faith and in me, yeah. No, yeah, but you know, before that, I already, well, what I see this platform as, I know that the embassies also, the Japanese embassy is doing that job already, but I view this also as a bridge, you know, for all of us Fijians, you know, connecting all of us. And every interview, there's always something that helps someone, some new information. And I think that's what, you know, I really wanted to be a part of that, to help Fijians here. I know I've only been here for 5 years, but you know, I wanted them to be able to have access to information if they needed it, and feel free to, you know,
5 years, but you know, I want.
Sorry, I don't know, maybe someone's audio is playing up, but yeah, so I wanted to be a part of this team, and I'm really grateful that they asked me to join. And yeah, I've been learning a lot as well from Ollie and Kini and Tina and Anna throughout this whole journey. So yeah, that's my inspiration.
Waqalevu. Yes, and I totally agree with you that maybe not all people are comfortable, you know, with going straight to the embassy, and this may be providing a bridge where I can learn about Japan on your lives, which I'm sure most of your members have, you know, with your posts and also your live sessions from people that are living in Japan. So Mrs. Matsumoto, what was you said you mentioned 2.5 years, I think you lived in Japan. So what was your inspiration? You know, after 2.5 years, immediately you decided, oh, this is the group I have to join. What was your inspiration behind joining Maramas in Japan?
I think mine is totally different from the ladies because Japan is not new for me. I'm married to a Japanese. My husband is Japanese. And I joined this group because, I mean, just to support the group, for keeping the page alive, trying to post stuff, but not doing a good job.
Everybody's busy. It's okay. Everybody's very busy.
Yeah, and it's also good for information purposes. Like when I came, for example, for Fijians trying to get a driving license, I was fortunate enough to have Tina help me with that transferring driving license, Fiji driving license to Japanese. So that information came as well as part of one of the interviews. So I think it's a great platform to pass on informations like that.
Yes. You know, there's some of the very little things, like getting a driver's license, you know, going to the supermarket and picking things up. In my personal experience, I bought vinegar instead of oil in the first time I went. It wasn't as pleasant, but you know, if there had groups like that showed us, you know, process in the supermarket and stuff like that. Well, yeah. So thank you very much, ladies. There was you know, get a brief background on how it began, where the idea came from, and inspiration for others why they would join. So the next question, I guess, would lead on to why did you choose this platform? Because you know, there's many platforms out there like YouTube and other platforms, social media platforms that many groups such as this also utilize. But I guess the first question would be, are there other platforms that you guys utilize besides Facebook, or is it mainly just Facebook?
Mainly Facebook.
It's mainly Facebook. So for all our watchers that are watching, you'll get all the good stuff on the Facebook page from Maramas in Japan. Is there a reason why you only chose Facebook? Is it because it's where you get the bigger audience, or is it also mirroring the other approach that the other Marama groups, do they usually just focus on Facebook?
I think so.
Actually, so sorry, can I say something? Sorry. Yeah, so we just before that, I just wanted to add, we have something in the pipeline right now, which is a YouTube channel that we are working on at the moment. So that's something to look forward to. But I guess for the Facebook, I'll leave that to the members, the founders who started this all on Facebook. Sorry about that. Go ahead, ladies.
To be quite frank, it was exactly what you said. This was where our community was based. This is where we all met. So it was only right that we began on Facebook. This is only our 1 year. And the purpose of tonight was to sound out the audience. Like, where else would we be able to get this kind of, you know, feedback? So like, if you don't mind, Tevita, Just posing a question to yourself, as Bill has already asked. We started off on Facebook, but are there other platforms that you think that our community are,
I think the easiest platform besides Facebook is Instagram. That's just from my side, because YouTube, I have a few friends that have YouTube channels, and the key is to be consistent. So to get stuff on YouTube, it has to be consistent. You have to know what to post, and the editing is more, it takes up time, and we all busy having our own schedule. So I think the next best thing besides Facebook is Instagram, because it's just posting up things, and it's interacting with the followers that are there, and the followers will see it. Like Facebook, you'll have to sometimes, if you want to know something about what's in the group, you'll have to search for the group on its own, instead of like on Instagram, you just swipe up and then it just pops up on the news feed. Yeah, so Instagram would be a good platform to go on. YouTube is good, but just from the experience that I've gone through with my friends, consistency is key. And I know we're all busy, so you need someone to, if you have a YouTube channel, you'll need someone to run it independently. That's just from what I think of like other platforms.
That's great advice. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Yes.
I think it's good as well for younger people, right? They're more in tune with Instagram, right? Rather than Facebook. Yeah, that's a
like,
good
Facebook,
point.
Facebook, most of the younger people have Facebook just because of family. They don't have their family members on Instagram, so they'll post up stuff on Facebook just to keep the family in the circle, so they know what they're doing. Especially for athletes abroad, they don't post a lot of things on Facebook, but they post the main things, like their achievements or whatever good that's going on in their life at that moment. And on Instagram, you can see whatever that person is doing every single day. So it's definitely different. Facebook is the Facebook platform is not is like for the whole family, compared to Instagram, where if you want to, since we have a lot of new younger audience coming into Japan now, with high school, some people are joining high school, some people are coming through university. I think it's good to put it on Instagram, because Instagram, like us, on Facebook, there's a lot of captions. So for older people, we read the full caption, like how many paragraphs. But Instagram is just a picture and maybe just one sentence, and in that sentence, there's so much information in that one sentence that the person can gather information from for younger viewers.
Thank you.
Yes, so we see there the importance of succinct information on the Instagram targeted sort of approach in terms of targeting towards the young people or the older generation in the Facebook. So I guess that leads on to my next question. With running such a platform such as Facebook, what are some of the challenges that you see in terms of running such a page? Is it of viewership, or because it's a closed group? So what are some of the challenges that you face running this page? I'm guessing that all of you are administrators of the page. So whoever's the most active administrator on the page, I guess would be the most suitable person to answer this question. What are some of the challenges?
I think we are all active on the page, but we have a moderator, which is Mrs. Matsumoto. I don't know, but yeah, I think Anna has been, posting, like she said earlier, trying to keep the page alive. So maybe, I don't know, she might have something to say. She's doing eye contact with me, so I feel like there's something on my.
Yes. So, what do you feel are some of the challenges of being a moderator and an administrator of the page, for viewership or viewings or viewership?
I think it's the contents that we post up.
Okay.
Depending on what we post up, what the people like, and if they react. Sarah.
Oh, sorry. The page. So.
Yeah, so depends on what people, what our members are interested in. If they are not interested in it, they won't react to it, and we feel like we are not doing a good job keeping the page alive. So I think it is important for our members to be involved as well in our page. So yeah, please join us tonight if you're watching us. The link is there on the comments. So happy to keep our page alive, please.
Okay. So since the beginning, we've talked about before 18 live sessions. So what is some of the demography of the people that you've interviewed? So I'm one, and also here, Olympian being one. I'm coming from academia. I briefly caught Drew's life, which is being a worker and a student at the same time, and being partner of a professional rugby player. There was Seta Tamanivalu, which if you are unfamiliar, then professional rugby player, former All Black, played in France, and now playing in Japan. What are some of the other, Sarah here, for example, can you please give us some of the people that have been interviewed over this past year, the caliber? I guess I'll pose this question to Mrs. Anise, very quiet in the corner in Tokyo. I'd like to hear your voice, Mrs. Anise. I'm sure you are very active in recruiting the people to be interviewed.
Yes.
What do you, Mrs. Anise? Can you give us some of just a brief run through of the people that you've interviewed, Fijians that you've interviewed in Japan?
No, thank you. Before I explain, sorry, my voice was not good today, but I'll try to get into to answer questions from Dr. Bill. Yes, when we start this platform, we used to choose our guest, and before we were just like listing it down, and that was Mrs. Naiva Luanga always do that, just to list down our audience, our guest that we always think of. And while we list it down, and when we think, oh, this person might come in here, we always see, like we just discuss within ourselves during our prep, like some strong points that they will come in and talk about that will contribute to the community as a whole. And that is how we based our questions to them. So we've tried our best to bring in different the different areas of people, like where they work or what they do. As of you, Dr. Bill, you come in, you contribute a lot in the education side, the scholarships and all this. It was very informative to those who are going towards that road. And we bring in Mr. Seta Tamanivalu to the rugby players, since we see there's a lot of the growing of rugby players in Japan, and most of them are members of this platform. And we bring Miss Savu from the embassy to enlighten us more of the embassy stuff, like passport and stuff. I think the platform has bringing different people that really contributed differently towards the viewers, because most of us have some questions that are hard for us to ask, and for us to bring it into your homes, the informations. Some might have forgot about that information they needed before, and we brought in people that helped them with that. So that was the main idea. We list down things and we names of people that we think that they here that they contribute, like Mr. Takayawa here as an Olympian, and it just and help people, boost up people, athletic people who are doing their studies, the mothers. So our our focus for this platform was the Maramas when we start off. But as we go in, it wasn't for the Maramas only. We think it was for the community that that can join, so we can just help. Yeah, that was the main thing, that we bring different kind of people that contribute differently. We know that we bring some guests that some viewers will be like, oh no, I don't need this information. But some viewers will be like, oh yeah, I need this information. I need to listen. So yeah, that's how we just get our guests to help the community to know what they want to know and understand. And that's why we always ask them, if they have questions, feel free to ask us any questions, or ask the guests.
So those that are watching today, if you have any questions, or if you have some topics that you might want to be talked about in Maramas in Japan in the future, please drop a comment or send a direct message to the group perhaps, and they will try to find the correct or the right person to perhaps hop on one of their live sessions next to try and address some of those questions that you may have. For the viewers, if you're watching, if you have any questions, please put them down in the comment section in this live, and as we go along, we will try to address those questions. As Mrs. Anis has mentioned, the page has evolved quite a lot. So the evolution of this platform. Originally, when it started out, I saw Maramas in Japan, and as Ms. Anis has mentioned, I thought it was targeted towards the Maramas in Japan. But as the months have moved on from this first year, in this 1 year, they've changed. This has evolved into being a whole community, the Fijian community, and the challenges of living in Japan and how we can learn of each other, which is one of the important aspects of this page, you say. So I guess we've seen the beginning, how it started out. Now we're seeing the middle portion of Maramas in Japan. It's 1 year, and now the page is slowly starting to evolve. Yes, Oli.
Oli, yes.
Yes, you wanted to say something? Sorry.
I meant no disrespect, Bill. I simply wanted to say, seeing as we have a few of our guests that have hopped online, before we move on to the next topic, if I could pose a question to both yourself, to Sai, and to Tevita, would you have any suggestions on ways that you think Maramas in Japan could benefit, ideas that you think we should adopt that could help our community? I mean, it is for us. And we'd love to hear your views.
Sure. We can go, it's up to you, Turanate or Sai. We'll go, ladies, for Sai. Is there some content that you would like to see on the page?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry. First of all, I see we are both in the same house, so the thing. Okay. For me, in terms of content, I think what Maramas in Japan have been doing so far have been good. I mean, considering also the demographic has been mostly, I think, rugby players, like the young rugby boys. So it's really nice to see that a lot of the conversations has been around similar to maybe players' welfare and things that that the young rugby boys, the aspiring rugby boys that we have here in Japan are working towards. So for me, I really love to see more of these stories from the successful, maybe the successful Japanese players that we have. just so it's targeted more towards who you have as members of this group, because it seems like most of them are either high school or the university rugby boys that we have here in Japan. So for me, that's one thing that I'd love to see more of.
Thank you.
Trying to get
Thank
Leach
you, Sai.
or yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Devita, did you have something to say?
Not really. It's just the same thing as Sai. I think the numbers of rugby players in Japan are growing from the university side, and I just don't think that if this platform isn't here, there's no one there to guide them unless it's someone that's in the university or someone, because the universities are so spread out. They don't get and the schedules are so demanding that they can't get to meet the person that was here before. So like we in my university, we were lucky that we had Joseph Lilintamu, who was at the same university, and he came when my nephew Vili was in the rugby dom for his first year, and he never came to the dom since the graduation, and he only came just to see Vili, and I think that was good, but it's very difficult for other universities to get that type of thing, because the universities in Osaka, Tokyo, and the seniors are in different places too. So I think this platform is good for them. That's just piggybacking off of Sai's point. The rugby, because of the growing population of the rugby players in Japan, is coming up. I can only speak for that because I know a few of the rugby boys here. There's 4 boys here, Fijian boys, and a few other boys in other places that sometimes need guidance. They right now they're just going through their own thing, and sometimes the Tongan or Samoan or other island seniors come over. It's a different way, because they would follow it that way instead of the way we want them to go, and sometimes it's not a good way. So I think we just need someone to come and get, like we had Seta, but Seta didn't come through that university side. So maybe someone like Joseph Lindam would be a good guest. He would be a good guest to elaborate more on how the university life and going on to the pro. He went to Osaka, now he's in closer to Tokyo now. So it would be a good information for a lot of the Fijian boys, and I know they would take it, because most of the time they are just doing they're going with the flow, and sometimes some of the boys might not have money at the end of the month, and we just need someone to like guide them through that type of situations. But it's good to have people like Dr. Bill with the education side, because we need that too. But with rugby, with the people that came here for rugby, it's a different mindset compared to the academic side, because the people that come here for rugby, once they go pro, they have so much free time in between training. So like we need if they don't have the right information, it's a bit difficult for them to handle pro life. Yeah.
Yeah, very good points there raised by both.
Yeah, thank you, Devita.
From my side, what I would like to see more in terms one on the rugby side. Before, to my knowledge, it was mostly the Tongan boys that were brought through from primary, maybe high school. Not very few Fijians, but now we are seeing a couple of Fijians that have been put through high school. So perhaps this platform could also be provide information by interviewing one of those that has come through the system from high school. They're at a very delicate mental development stage when they put it through at a very young age, through from secondary to tertiary, is a big jump. So perhaps that's one, and the other one is not only rugby players, but there's also quite a good number of students that come to Japan, and they number in the hundreds, I think, right now. And every year there's an intake from MEXT and also JICA and then all these other scholarships. So have some like such as Sarah coming into as JEPs.
Yeah.
As ALTs, these are some others we can also consider. I see a question here. I don't know if I'm supposed to jump straight to the questions.
It's fine. It's fine if you want to.
A few people saying hello. Hey, Muli Veronica. She's joining in from Niigata. Bula Veronica Himuli. Welcome. We thank you very much for joining the live session today. Also, Master Leone there in Tochigi. One question here is coming all the way from Germany. I don't know if I think you've interviewed him.
Yes.
My Vasu.
Itu
I don't know, it's nighttime here. Good night. What are some of the projects you are planning outside of the interviews with Fijians inside Japan? Again, what are some of the future projects you are planning outside of the interviews with Fijians inside Japan? So my boss has jumped straight ahead. We've been beginning the evolution in this 1 year. Now we're Vasu itu from coming from Germany. So I'll put it to the group. What is the future, let's say, objectives or intentions of the group? How are we taking this, rapid growth? We're changing our objectives from Maramas to the whole of the community, and everyone's been joining. It's now regional also. How are you tackle this future aspect of MIJ platform? I leave this open to the group. So who shall let's go through the whole group. Let's start from Mrs. Neva Luanga in Akita. The future of MIJ. Where do you see this platform going in the future? The next year. Let's just work with the next year, the next 12 months.
Wow. Well, first, I would like to say, I think Oli has mentioned it, or Sarah, that we have a YouTube account that we've already started. Throughout these past live sessions that we've had, we've noticed our numbers have really gone up. I think especially from your interview, Dr. Bill. But we'd like to see active members. Some just joined in to watch the live, especially. So our idea of opening that YouTube account is for those who are not members, non-members of this group, as this is a private group, they can watch. We'd like to post these videos on our YouTube account for non-members to be able to listen to our live sessions. That is one of the things we're doing. Really, we're focusing, I think the main idea was to focus on Fijians living in Japan. That was the main purpose of creating this platform. So the idea of opening the YouTube account was for our non-members who wants to listen to our live. Maybe they can watch on YouTube later. Not live, but later when we upload the videos to YouTube. That is one thing we've done. Yes, and we'd like to see more members, all the Fijians who in Japan, to join this group, this platform. And we'd like to have more people to interview as well. I mean, we welcome ideas, those who you have in mind, names of those people you would like us to interview. Yes, I think that is what my 2 cents.
Value, Mrs. Nevaluanga. Thank you for that input. So we'll ask probably Mrs. Thomas also if she'd like to add to that, or the future of MIJ. What is the journey from here?
Before answering the question, I suppose I have to admit, I couldn't see it running the year that it did. Like, I wasn't sure of the direction that it would go and how far, whether it would gain traction. So the fact that we've gotten to this 12 months and that there's still members willing to join and be part of the group, I'm just glad, I'm relieved. I do know that in future, it would be nice. The girls have suggested some really good ideas, trying to introduce members. Sarah has begun an initiative of putting off weekly, fortnightly credits, writing, I've forgotten. Sarah, perhaps you could mention
monthly. Yeah, so just on this part, yeah, it's called Know Your Fijians. It's a project by us, a new project. Like Tevita also mentioned, there's a lot of young people here in Japan, the Fijians coming through, and we want everyone to like get to know them, because whenever we ask, if I ask a young person, can you do an interview, you know, usually they're like, oh no, you know, they're too shy, or they don't want to, you know, come on the camera. But so this is another option that we have for young people, and you know, we really want to hear their voice, the voices. It's not just rugby players, you know, there's like different they have different backgrounds. And so I just thought, like with the ladies, why don't we just have a profile on them instead of an interview? But we really want to get to know all of you young people. So that's one of our new projects, and yeah, it's continuing like monthly. So yeah, if you know anyone that would like to be a part of that, yeah, please let us know. We'd love to do a profile on you. Thank you, Ollie. Sorry, Ollie, go ahead.
And the last thing that I could add on is that there is a plan in the pipeline to begin doing panels to address issues that affect all of us, community, in terms of perhaps finance, you know, investment. We've only kind of briefly stuck to introductions, and I figured for the first year, you know, it's a way of getting to know the members that are coming in. But in future, we'd love to hear other suggestions of ways that we can reach out, maybe create programs that can help be more informative. So we'd love to hear what you think, Bill, yourself, Tivita, if there are other ways that we can go about getting more engaged with our members. Like, it doesn't have to be tonight, even later on. Just post it on the page so that we'll be able to work on that. So yeah, for that, thank you. That's all.
So, Mrs. Anise, what about your views on the future of this MIJ platform?
Yeah, we've been, as for this platform, it's a young group that we have just reached our 1-year anniversary today. And we have a lot of, there's some good ideas that we always discuss, as the other ladies have mentioned out. And we try to build, we try to accomplish one by one. So the first one was YouTube, and then we'll move on. And the ideas was coming, like, you know, just to increase and to broaden this platform. If someone, if a Fijian here do like a business or something, they can come in to advertise it using this platform. And that was some ideas we think that for the future, but we're taking one step at a time, and we try to at least accomplish it, so that our first year has gone, as Mrs. Thomas has said, is the introduction. And then now YouTube is coming up, and we're really learning a lot ourselves of these things like Zoom, the technology and everything. So we're learning a lot from each other when we do our discussion, and we're putting ideas that we just think that will just contribute to the community as a whole.
And Sarah, as one of the newer members, maybe you'll bring new vibrant ideas that you think.
I think so. Yeah, I'm joking. Yeah. So like we said, but I think they've mentioned already some of the projects, and the main thing is we want to serve the members as best as we can, and that's one of the reasons, the main reasons why we wanted to have this open Zoom call. So today we heard from Tevita, who said, oh, Mr. Take, sorry, who said, who talked about Instagram as, an idea for us. And, after this, it's something that, we will all, discuss. And maybe our second year anniversary, we might be on Instagram, never know. Yeah. But any ideas you have, we are so open to it. We just want to help you as much as we can, all the viewers who are watching right now. But yes, the Know Your Fijian, once again, please, for the young people out there, we want you. We want the profile on you. So please let us know. Let us know.
Dr. Waqalevu, not really for the ideas and showing us the picture of how this Nrua is headed. Where it's headed. One of the people that I'd like to see also being highlighted on one of those is just commented here, Bulavinaka MIJ. It's Josefa Longavatu. Bulavinaka in Tokyo. Bula choose spot on Brother Te. Also, a couple of people are wishing happy birthday, happy 1 year anniversary MIJ here. Elina Kalomira Rokujizo, wife to Aisa Kalomira. Here, happy birthday MIJ. Also, Drew Slater, one of the former guests of the Maramas in Japan. Happy birthday, MIJ. Loving the color-coded yellow teki-teki.
Even with the bill.
Just maybe, I don't know, another 300 meters from the Neighbor Luangas is Sio Moritumba. He's also saying maybe 300 to 200. Seems to be always eating pies and nice food.
Lamintans.
Happy anniversary, Brunakai. He says, happy anniversary, MIJ. Toko tunga as always. So toko tunga emuni kaino. Also, hey Muri wishes a happy birthday to MIJ, and he's looking forward to the next Zoom sessions. Anyway, this Zoom session is going 1 hour. Am I correct? Okay. So we are approaching our hour mark. So now we'll just wrap it up. We'll wrap it up nicely before, if there's any, before we end this session. Firstly, as I'd like to say thank you very much to everybody who's watching, to the Maramas in Japan, that are the hardworking ladies, pulling all the people from all over Japan in what capacity, in all the expertise, from Olympians such as Te, to professional rugby players, people who try to study like me, that the experience in Japan is one to be enjoyed, and it's one that, for personal and professional development, and all that we can learn by sharing, and Talanoa, as we see here tonight on this live session. So I'll go one more round through the panel, also including Te and Sai, who are also on the live, on the Maramas in Japan journey, and looking back. So now we've started with how it started, where we want to go, and looking back what has been some of the rewarding, what a rewarding journey it has been, and what are your hopes moving forward from here. We'll start off with Mrs. Thomas. For the future, in terms of, I know you've answered the way we want to go, but what are your aspirations for this group? Don't worry, Te and Sai will also get to you and your opinion.
Long answers.
Looking back, I'm grateful for the connections that we've managed to make. I don't think I've had the opportunity to meet an Olympian and inspirational academics like the both of you. So it really has been a privilege to connect, to create friendships, and to be inspired by like-minded people. So to everyone, here's hoping that in the future, we'll be able to welcome even more members similar to yourselves in caliber that we can learn off. Vinaka.
Mrs. Thomas. Mrs. Neivaluanga.
Yes, almost sleeping this side. Well, I forgot what I have to say. Yes, Vinaka Waqalevu to everyone who's joined us. I've learned a lot of things. Just talking on Zoom was not something that I'm used to. Technically, we're not very good with technical things. I think that's why we just stick to Facebook. But I'm the oldest in the group. I think that's why most of us comfortable with Facebook. We just do what we're comfortable with. But from tonight's sessions, thank you for all the ideas coming in. And Vinaka Waqalevu to everyone. I'd like to mention the senior citizens that we interviewed. We didn't mention their names, Master John and Master Leone. They were, we forgot to mention them. I think we mentioned all the young ones and the rugby players, and Auntie Sherry was one of the older, the senior citizens that we interviewed also. Yes, thank you for tonight, and we'd like to see more of you to join us. We welcome many more ideas, good ideas. And tonight was a very good session. We've learned a lot. Vinaka.
Mrs. Never. Can you say any wrap-up comments on our hopes of MIJ the next year or going forward?
Yes, yeah, thank you very much, everyone. As the ladies mentioned, it was a journey that we start without knowing where we're heading to. And we have learned a lot, meet a lot of people and learn from different people, different perspectives, different ways of living here in Japan. We've talked to different races too, that we see that it helped us, especially the MIJ admin. Yes, thank you to Mr. Takayawa and Bill and Sai. You've been an inspiration. And yes, so the citizen, the old Fijian citizen, Mrs. Tambiangona, Master Nut and Master Leone have always been there. And it was, I think it was one of our pillar of strength that we see that, the old citizen, we count them as parents and they always stand by us, talking and giving some comment that we always just improve our sessions as we move on. And yes, thank you to all the viewers, and please join in and let us know if there's something that we do. Even after live session, you can give your feedbacks so that we just can improve this platform and just help the community as a whole.
Miss Ramarasi?
Yes, I think that the ladies before me have said basically what I want to say. In the beginning, I think when we had little members and seen it grow, throughout this 1 year, just very grateful for your support, and just seeing, because the Alliance UK members also gave a shout out to us, and the embassy as well. Calera has told us, Miss Savu has told us, that many things about this platform, and we just really appreciate that. And we want to continue growing and helping others. So thank you so much once again, members. And really happy to have you on board with us on this journey, on this draw together. Thank you.
Mrs. Matsumoto.
Well, like Sarah said, I think the ladies have mentioned it. I think moving forward, we'll slowly come out of our comfort zone and going towards YouTube now, maybe, like Sarah said, Instagram by 2nd anniversary. And we'd like to encourage the members to please be active on our page and share stuff, share posts or whatever. And Mr. Waqalevu, we're still waiting for your day in life video. That's also another thing. On the page, a day in life video, please. You do a So we'd love to see that. That would be interesting content.
I love the blind side on a live session. Nakabaliw, Miss Te, the Olympian.
Happy birthday, happy anniversary to the group. Good things take time. I know that in the first week or 2 weeks, it wasn't as serious, but now it's been 1 year. So in the next year, I'm sure it'll be a bigger audience. I'm just looking forward to the content. I still remember how I got into the group. It was Dr. Bill's interview that attracted me to the group. So, he was a very good guest. So he pulled a lot of people into the group. So I think it's depending on the guest, it'll pull a different type of people. If this was, I know it's a closed group, but if you move on to Instagram, I'm sure a lot of the people on the group that's on that platform would share the stories on their stories, and share the different things on the group. So because this is a private group, it's just in between the group. So I'm looking forward to what the group has to offer in this coming year. I hope everyone is safe during the summers. Drink a lot of water.
Dr. Waqalevu, say if you have anything to add.
Thank you so much for the platform, ladies.
Hello from the kitchen.
Hello from the kitchen. I just wanted to say, good job. Thank you for this space. One thing that I know moving forward, you'll be pressured a lot to try and change probably a kind of platform that you put your stories towards. But you should remember that you have a unique thing going with this Maramas in Japan page. I think it's a very good platform to offer mentorship for two groups of people, like Bill has mentioned. You've got the students coming in to study, and you also have the aspiring rugby boys who are starting from high school all the way to pros. So bank on that, maximize that potential that you have in utilizing the page of this platform for Maramas in Japan. And I think moving forward, I envision Marama in Japan to be for also not only Fijians, but maybe for the Pacific Island communities as a whole. So we'll always be here to support you from the background, cheering you on, watching whenever we can. But thank you for the good work that you've done so far. Happy birthday again, happy anniversary for this 1 year, and looking forward to the many more good things that you have moving forward.
So just to summarize what everybody's hopes are for Maramas, when we are looking back, also we're very grateful for the journey. We've gone through so much evolution and change, also unity in bringing together the Fijian community, also the Pacific Island community. Appreciation for those that have set the path for us, especially the senior citizens that have been here for much, much longer. Master Leone there, Maramatau, Sereana, also Master Nakita. The appreciation for the pathfinders, those that set the path. Also outside of the comfort zone, which I also always like to mention, is where growth is at. We can, in this sense, literally growth is outside that comfort zone.
So true.
And also our future aspirations. So I'd like to, from my side, I'd like to wish MIJ very happy anniversary of the 1 year, and hope for the next year, decade. And I keep looking forward to the new content that you'll post up. I'll be leaving Japan soon, so but I will keep an eye on the group and keep following it. So that's the end of our live session. As a moderator today, that's the formality bit. And from me, I'll pass on to Ollie, who will then summarize it all up for us. Thank you very much, everybody. Panel.
Thank you, Bill. We've delegated Kini to end our live session. So,
yeah, to all the viewers and to Dr. Bill Waqalevu, before we end this program, we want to thank you again for always being there for us and for always accepting our short calls. And we're sorry for that. And we want to wish you for your journey of work and out of Japan. We will miss you definitely, but we know you will be always there for us to answer our questions, and you'll always be part of this platform. You're always welcome to be part of this platform, and we wish you all the best for your work, for the new journey, for the new endeavor that you will be going to out of Japan to Dubai. And to all the viewers watching tonight, thank you very much for watching us. Thank you for your questions. Thank you very much, Mr. Takayawa and Miss Sainimere Vetata. Thank you very much. And for us admin, from us to you, good night.
Good night.
Bye.